Good morning, everyone. We are so glad you are here with us this morning for this very special occasion. The graduates of Middle Creek High School have worked hard and diligently for the past 13 years to reach this incredible milestone. Let's honor them today for their years of hard work and dedication with our respect and utmost courtesy. To avoid any distractions during this ceremony, we ask that you please turn off all cell phones and cameras. Later this evening, a recording of the entire ceremony will be linked to our Middle Creek High School website, compliments of our amazing digital media staff and students. We also ask you to be courteous throughout the entire ceremony by remaining quiet and seated. We would like to ensure that each and every graduate can be honored and respected as their name is called and as they cross the stage this morning. Please rise for the processional. And at this time, it is my greatest honor to introduce to you Middle Creek High School's graduating class of 2021. Please stand or remain standing for the national anthem sung by seniors and siblings Caitlin Simmons and CJ Simmons. And please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
And now, please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. You all may now be seated.
Hello, my name is Brooke Spofford, and I am the student body president that is lucky to represent the wonderful class of students graduating today. First, I would like to thank not only my classmates, who have made these past 4 years so special, but also the staff and parents who have supported us every step of the way. Middle Creek High School is not only a campus where we take classes and participate in extracurriculars, it is also a community. And without all of you there to help guide us, our experience would not be complete. Class of 2021, take this opportunity to reflect and celebrate. And for all of the moments that we have lost this past year and a half, cherish this moment, our moment. After years of rushing to grow up and become adults, we are finally here today, ready to take a step into the next chapter of our lives. As we put an end to our high school years, we are here surrounded by friends and family, those who have supported us and helped us grow into who we are today. As we remember being focused on getting good grades, growing up, and going to college, I hope you'll remember to focus on the little moments that made these past 13 years of our lives so special. Those small everyday events such as walking to the Commons for lunch, talking with your favorite teacher, or going to FNL are now just memories. These past few weeks we were able to share our last few walks to class, our last classes knowing everyone in the room with us, and now, today, we share our last time being in the same school with our classmates of the past 4 years. As I am sure it is for most of you, it is difficult to think of the class of 2021, in our senior year especially, without addressing our circumstances. Adults like to remind us of our living through history and the unprecedented times that we have endured throughout high school. Although the pandemic took a good amount of our high school experience, what our class has lost over the past year and a half has done nothing but prove to me the resilience of my classmates. We have overcome virtual classes, canceled sports seasons, masked musicals, and unlimited uncertainty. And yet, we are all kind of here today in the ceremony that we have looked forward to our entire childhood. Our ability to rise above the obstacles thrown at us only gives me even more confidence in the future success of the class of 2021 that sits here before me today. And while I'm excited to watch as all of you achieve greatness in your futures, I invite you all to join me in recognizing some of the accomplishments that you have already made. To my classmates who are going off into top schools across the country, thank you for being role models for your class. Your constant academic and extracurricular dedication is truly something to be admired. At last check, our class had over $7 million in scholarship awards. So, congratulations to all of you who put in the hard work to support your future. We are a class full of outstanding leaders. Thank you to those of you who created clubs that will now be a part of school history, and also for those of you who helped hold together the programs that make Middle Creek so spectacular. Our theater and band departments are thriving, our sports teams are winning championships, and our academic clubs are constantly the top, thanks to you, class of 2021. The families and communities that we have all formed make this school feel a bit more like a home, and no matter how good or bad your experience here was, we will always have a place in this community, now and forever. So, whether your next step is college, military, or the workforce, we will always be a part of this Mustang community. While I would have loved to have only good things to say about high school, for many of us, including myself, there have been lows for the highs. We've made mistakes and we have failed, but we did all of those together. However, just as this pandemic has made us all value our every moment of being here, every failure has made this success more glorious. These last 4 years have been filled with unforgettable moments, thanks to you, Mustangs. I hope you all cherish the memories you have made with those who sit around you and recognize how much you have grown because of your experiences with them. The bond we have created and the support that we have given each other has been nothing short of familial. I am beyond proud to have seen many of us grow from shy, closed-off freshmen to the outspoken change makers that we are today. We have spoken up for what is right and paved the way to create the kind of change that we would like to see in the world. Given our demonstrated capability for success, I have no doubt that I will witness many of you create that change. As Mustangs, we will positively change the world. Please join me in reflecting on our past 4 years. What made them so unforgettable? While thinking of these moments, I want you all to realize the turning point that we are at in our lives. In this brief moment, you all get to decide who you want to be when you walk out of this room. It doesn't matter what plans you have or don't have, or if you know everyone or no one where you are heading next. In this moment, you get a blank slate. So choose who you would like to be, and don't settle for what is expected of you. Only then will your personal success be inevitable. I am so thankful to now be an alumni of Middle Creek High School, and although these times are often faced with apprehension, I hope that they are also filled with eagerness for what is to come. Fellow graduates, I cannot wait to think back on this moment one day and see the amazing things that the class of 2021 will unleash onto the world. Thank you, and roll stands.
On behalf of Middle Creek High School's class of 2021, I would like to introduce the special guests at our graduation ceremony. As they are introduced, I ask them to please stand and be recognized. Dr. Jim Martin, Wake County Public School System School Board Member. In addition to our special guests, we are joined by the administration and faculty of Middle Creek High School. At this time, administration and faculty, please stand to be recognized.
Parents, family members, friends, and most importantly, Middle Creek's soon-to-be graduates. I welcome you all here today, and I'm excited to share in this commencement ceremony for Middle Creek High School. I am Lacey Peckham, principal here at Middle Creek, and it is a great privilege to present to you members of the class of 2021. This class of students has brought honor to our school and has continued the strong tradition of excellence that is Middle Creek's standard. Before I start with my address to the graduates, I want to begin by thanking all of the parents and family members who've supported these graduates throughout their school journey, and most especially during a final year that was filled with changes, pivots, and compromises. You are the behind-the-scenes and front-row champions of these students, and our celebration of them today is also a celebration of your efforts. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. To all of the Mustang staff that is with us today, I want to also thank you for the countless hours you put into teaching, coaching, and lifting our students up, guiding them in person and remotely on the path towards their highest potential and towards a strong finish to a successful school career. I would also like to acknowledge and thank our Wake County dignitary here this afternoon, board member Dr. Jim Martin. Thank you so much for your leadership and commitment to the students and our community, and thank you for being a part of our celebration. To the class of 2021. In the remarks I share with you today, I want to spend just a brief moment in reflection, celebration, and hopefully a little motivation as you close one chapter and look towards the next. Last year's senior class had an abrupt and surprising ending to their high school career, and that was unfortunate. This senior class, however, also had an abrupt and unpredictable finish to 2020, but in addition, had an entire summer of anticipation and questions, and a senior year of wishing, hoping, adjusting, logging on, rotating, adapting, acclimating, and continuing to pour yourselves into your studies, your extracurriculars, and creating senior memories in ways that may have not been traditional. While we could spend some time focusing on the lost moments and unpredictable circumstances of this last year and a half of high school, I want to make sure to spend some time today reminding you of the things that I hope you all have gained throughout your high school experience and in celebration of the new perspectives, mindsets, and skills that I hope you've gained in this, what has been an exceptionally unique high school experience. You are pandemic high schoolers and have been virtual, blended, and cohorted seniors. And while I may have been your principal for only a portion of your high school career, I have been your leader for the entirety of this crazy pandemic. And I can truly say you all have gained and grown a lot. And I am proud of you for all that you have endured. First, members of this senior class, you have navigated and achieved through a once-in-a-lifetime event. There was no manual for this. and you didn't need one. You already had all the things that you needed to be successful, including a strong work ethic and a support system, whether it was family, a close group of friends, your teachers, or you found it within yourself. And while you may not have chosen to challenge your own independence in this way, you now know what you are capable of. Second, it may feel like a small thing in retrospect, but do not diminish or discount the fact that you have not let the learning platform or setting stop you from achieving. 2 years ago, it may have been impossible to imagine learning in any other place other than a classroom. Now, as a future adult learner, we hope your horizons are broadened about how that learning can take place, and with some new skills on how to access it. And this is not to say you all want to be lifelong virtual students, but I'm sure that throughout this year, you have learned more about who you are as a student and how you learn best, and what you need in order to be successful in managing your time and your studies. And lastly, and most importantly, I believe that you have gained a new sense of appreciation for what others took for granted. As humans, we logically know that anything can happen, but we lose sight of that often. As freshmen, there were events and parts of high school you expected to happen that didn't. And there were things not on your radar that now are or maybe should have been. Whether it was moments you thought might not happen that did, or new moments that were created because others could not, we know you appreciated all those moments more than you would have as seniors 2 years ago. Take that ability to find gratitude and joy in small moments, simple things, and personal connections with you into the next chapter of memories you make, and continue to appreciate them the way that you have this year. As we move towards our recognition of graduates here before us, I want to leave you all with a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it is one that I think speaks directly to our class of 2021. Quote, "Life is not about expecting, hoping, and wishing. It is about doing, being, and becoming." Of course, I know that you are leaving high school with hopes and dreams for your future, and I encourage those aspirations. But be sure to use these lessons and future ones as a part of creating who you will be and how you will experience life. Just like during this pandemic, do what needs to be done to get where you need to go and to become who you were meant to be. You will do it, and we believe in you. Graduating class of 2021, I am so proud of you. Today, you are all leading galloping Mustangs. At this time, we will begin with the recognition of graduates being presented by Dean of Students, Mrs. Tara Gillespie. We are thrilled to get to enhance the announcement of graduates today by including some personalized thank yous and comments from each of our graduates. As is tradition for Middle Creek High School, and in preservation of the sanctity of this event, we ask that each family please hold their applause until all graduates have been recognized, so that no family misses their graduate's name or comments. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. Ms. Gillespie?
At this time, we will begin with the recognition of graduates. Annalisa Sarah Alexander. Annalisa says, "Thanks to my mom and dad for providing me with everything I needed to be successful, to my sister and friends for always supporting me, and my Middle Creek teachers for helping me reach my goals." Jacob Dylan Allard. Jacob says, "I would like to thank my parents who were behind me 100% of the way, my teachers who challenged me to perform my best and made class fun, and my friends who made high school some of the best years of my life so far." Juliet Dylan Ambrosino. Juliet says, "I would like to thank my parents for providing me with endless support and giving me every opportunity to help me succeed, and my teachers for providing me with such wonderful experiences these past 4 years. They have shaped my life in the best way." Mason Michael Emidon. Mason says, "I would like to thank my parents for their support throughout high school." Ava Isabel Barefoot. Ava says, I would like to thank my parents, friends, and teachers for their support. Mitchell Thomas Benton. Mitchell says, thanks to my mom and dad for supporting me the whole way, my sister and my grandparents. I love you guys so much. Tyler Reed Benton. Tyler says, I would like to thank my mom and dad for helping me persevere through high school, Coach Allen for being my wrestling coach these last 3 years, my friends who supported me, and Mr. Taylor and Mrs. Beard who made their classes something to look forward to. Caleb James Bone. Caleb says, I would like to thank my parents for helping me get this far and my friends for keeping me grounded through the whole high school experience. Emma Grace Bordenaro. Emma says, I am so fortunate to have such encouraging parents and siblings. Thank you guys for unconditionally loving me and supporting me. Emery Grace Bradshaw. Emery says, I would like to thank my parents for everything they have done for me and my teachers for always helping me and pushing me to be the best I can be. Ashley Marie Brady. Ashley says, I would like to thank my teachers for encouraging me to do the best I can in everything I do, and my friends and family for always being there for me and supporting me unconditionally. Kaylee Elizabeth Brady. Kaylee says, I would like to thank my teachers, family, and friends for their support. Jackson Darrow Breslin. Jackson says, I would like to thank my mom and dad for supporting me throughout high school and encouraging me to achieve my goals, and thanks to my friends for making my high school experience even better. William James Brown. William says, I would like to thank my parents and grandparents for supporting me through everything I have done, my friends for sticking by my side, God for looking over me and putting these people in my life, and the faculty of Middle Creek for everything. Brianna Marie Burniston. Brianna says, I would like to thank my parents, grandparents, and teachers that I have become close with over my time at Middle Creek. Joseph Michael Burniston. Joseph says, I would like to thank my parents for being so supportive and helpful throughout my time in high school, my teachers for giving me a great learning experience and preparing me for the future, and my friends for making high school fun and entertaining. Terrence Eugene Carmichael. Terrence says, thanks to my mom, my teachers, my friends, and all my coaches. Kira Elizabeth Catalico. Kira says, I would like to thank my parents, close friends, and my teachers for supporting me throughout high school. Sonia Shripad Sirtali. Sonia says, I would like to thank my parents and peers for always supporting me and cheering me on, and my teachers for being so supportive and cooperative. Middle Creek truly has the best teachers ever. Alexa Rose Cleveland. Alexa says, thanks to my friends who are my best support system throughout high school. Nolan Patrick Connaughton. Middle Creek High School congratulates Nolan on his achievements. Caitlin Therese Crow. Caitlin says, thanks to my mom and dad for always supporting me through everything, Mrs. Johnson for inspiring me to read again and appreciate the art of literature, Coach Iwanich for teaching me to never give up and always play my best, and my best friends for their support. McKenna Hope Dom. McKenna says, I would like to thank my parents, my sister, and my teachers for all of their support and help throughout high school. I would not be the person I am today without their support. Emma Rose Dale. Emma says, I would like to thank my friends and family as well as my teachers for being super encouraging and always believing in me. John Christopher DeMeo. John says, thanks to my parents who always helped throughout high school, and also Mr. Oliver, who was a great teacher. Catherine Ann DiBenedetto. Catherine says, I would like to thank my parents and grandmother for supporting me and pushing me to succeed, my friends for keeping school interesting and helping me to remember to have a little fun sometimes, and my teachers for working with me and looking out for me. Anna Grace Dickey. Anna says, I would like to thank my parents for all they have done for me throughout high school, my friends for being there for me, and my lacrosse coach, Coach Petrillo, for always being there for us. Anna Rose Ernest. Anna says, I would like to thank my family for supporting me through everything I've done and always being there for me. Jack Walker Evans. Jack says, thanks to my parents and friends for their support. Jack David Fries. Jack says, thanks to my mom and dad, my friends, Coach Ragland, and everyone who helped me in the last 4 years. Alexander Francis Butter. Alexander says, thanks to my parents, friends, teachers, coaches, and family. Jose Angel Garcia Perez. Jose says, I would like to thank my parents for going through so much and sacrificing so much just so I could become something greater in life.
Jose dice, me gustaría agradecer a mis padres por pasar por tanto y sacrificarse tanto para que yo pudiera obtener una mejor vida.
Danielle Marie Garrison. Danielle says, I would like to thank my mom, Melanie, Brian, and Leah, and all the teachers for all that they have done for me. Denham Aiden Gladney. Middle Creek High School congratulates Denham on all his achievements. Eleanor Mary Getz. Eleanor says, I would like to thank my mom, dad, brother, and sister for always supporting and encouraging me throughout high school, and thanks to Mrs. Garrett, Ms. Siegschlag, and the entire MCHS Theater Department for their unconditional love and support. Daniel Andres Guerrero Rodriguez. Daniel says, I would like to thank my teachers for everything they do, and also my coaches for the time they dedicate to coaching our sports teams. Jack David Hagan. Jack says, thanks to my parents who supported me all the way through, and Mr. Petty, Mr. Maldonado, Ms. Shoddy, and Mrs. House for being great teachers and helping me succeed in high school. Audrey Christina Hare. Audrey says, I would like to thank my parents for always supporting me in everything I do and pushing me to be a better person, and my friends for walking alongside me all these years. Lorelei Marilyn Hurton. Lorelei says, thanks to my mother and father for giving me all the opportunities for academic achievement, as well as friends and my other family for encouraging me to do my best. Savannah Rose Holmes. Savannah says, I would love to thank my teachers, my parents, and my coaches for being there and for pushing me in ways I never thought I could be pushed. They believed in me every step of the way, and I could not be anywhere without them. Avery Blue Hormel. Avery says, thanks to Mrs. Wagner, Mr. Perlasky, Coach Piccirillo, Coach Harden, Mrs. King, and Mr. and Mrs. Taylor for always supporting me and believing in me, my mom, dad, and brother for being my #1 supporters, and my friends for the memories that I'll never forget. Tanner Reese Hunley. Tanner says, I would like to thank all my teachers and friends for being there and helping me all throughout high school, and my parents and siblings for teaching me all they know and pushing me to do the best that I could. Greta Louise Keltz. Greta says, I would like to thank my parents, teachers, and close friends for supporting me these 4 years. Jessica Marie King. Jessica says, I would like to thank my parents and all the amazing teachers I've been lucky to have these past 4 years, especially Coach Petrillo. Tyler Jack Koviak. Tyler says, thanks to all my teachers, especially my science teachers such as Mrs. Maury, Ms. Kubaki, Ms. Vining, and Mrs. Clements for definitely being a big part of the classes that inspired my desire for a biology major, and thanks to my parents for pushing and raising me to work hard and aim high. Anna Kristanovich. Anna says, I would like to thank my parents, my sister, and my best friends for supporting and helping me throughout the last 4 years. Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer says, I would like to thank my mom for always being there for me.
Jennifer dice, quiero agradecerle a mi mamá por siempre apoyarme y estar presente.
William Jackson Marlowe. William says, thanks to Coach Briley, Mr. Chaldon, Mr. Ledford, and Ms. Stengel for their support. Cormac Terrence McCabe. Cormac says, I am thankful for helpful teachers and my counselor, Mrs. Bosman. Darius Joel McKenzie. Darius says, thanks to my family, friends, coaches, and teachers for keeping me motivated throughout the past 4 years. Matthew Alexander Mealy. Matthew says, I would like to thank my parents, friends, and my swim coach, Coach Morris, for supporting me during high school and preparing me for my next phase in life. Ezekiel Samuel Deshawn Middleton. Ezekiel says, I would like to thank Mr. Coley, Ms. Costa, Mr. Siegel, Mrs. Bullock, and Dr. Morris for their support. Keely Larkin Tribal Mizell. Keely says, I would like to thank my incredibly supportive parents, teachers, and friends for 4 wonderful years, Ms. Garrett and Ms. Siegschlag for creating my second home in the theater department, Ms. Wagner and Mr. Pulaski for teaching me that I can indeed write a research paper, and all the staff at Middle Creek for their continuous efforts to make my experience one I'll never forget. Miles Mirzadeh Magadam. Miles says, thanks to the teachers I met at Middle Creek who were amazing and so nice to me, and my parents for all their support and help when I needed it. Jane Patterson Musselwhite. Jane says, I would like to thank my family for always encouraging me to do my best and for giving me their constant support, my teachers for always helping me achieve my fullest potential, and my friends for always having my back. Carson Lewis Patel. Carson says, I would like to thank all of my teachers for making high school a great experience, all of my friends for being with me through it, my parents for helping and supporting me, and my coaches for keeping me busy and motivated. Andrew James Peloso. Andrew says, I would like to thank my parents and my siblings for helping me with difficult tasks and trying their best to support me in any way. Azande Tyree Porter. Azande says, I would like to thank my parents for always pushing me to become the best version of myself and my close friends for being there for me. Eric Rodriguez Perez. Eric says, I would like to thank my friends and family for their support.
Eric dice, me gustaría agradecer a mis amigos y familiares por su apoyo.
Gavin William Russell. Gavin says, my biggest thank you is to my parents for their support, my sister for being a rock in my life and being a constant companion, and all of my teachers and friends who have played such a big role in making me the person that I am today. Mackenzie Lynn Schmidt. Mackenzie says, I would like to thank my parents for pushing me to reach my full potential, my teachers for not taking it easy on me, and my friends for supporting me through everything that high school brings. Connolly Ian Simmons. Connolly says, I would like to thank my mom, dad, stepdad, sisters, and my friends for being there for me this year, and the theater program at Middle Creek for making the school feel like a home. Caitlin Iva Simmons. Caitlin says, I would love to thank all of my friends who've supported me to no end, my teachers for being understanding and helpful, especially the choral and theatrical programs for helping me become part of a community bigger than myself, and my family for coming on this journey with me. Rylan Keith Stephanus. Rylan says, I would like to start by thanking God for getting me to where I am today, and my mom, dad, family, and friends who support me and lift me up. Andrea Claire Sutter. Andrea says, I would like to thank my mom, dad, and sister for always believing in me, and my best friends for making my high school experience enjoyable. Ian Robert Swanson. Ian says, I would like to thank my family and friends for their support. Elise Jade Taylor. Elise says, I would like to thank my parents for the unconditional love and support, Miss Siegeslag for always pushing me to be my best, and my friends for always being there for me when I need it. Rachel Nicole Thomas. Rachel says, thank you to my teachers for always believing in me and giving me all the support and encouragement I could ask for, my friends for making sure I always had things to look forward to and smile about, and my parents for making sure I never lacked goals or the means to get there. I love you. Talea Yvette Thomas. Talea says, I would like to thank Mr. Chaldon, Ms. Smith, Mrs. Hodges, Ms. Sneed, Ms. Young, Mr. Coleman, Mr. Agoncillo, Mr. Williams, Coach Piccirillo, Coach Fisher, Coach Uwanich, and Ms. Stengel for coaching me into the person I am today and always believing in me. John Robert Vanderoff. John says, thank you to Mr. Ship for all of your support. Sanjana Saraswati Venkatraman. Sanjana says, I would like to thank my mom and dad for always pushing me to do my best, my friends who have always been there to support me and made high school as memorable as it was, and my teachers for always believing in me. Julian Albert Vista. Julian says, thanks to my family and friends for your support. Joshua Connor Wallace. Joshua says, a huge thank you goes out to the teachers who never stopped pushing me and to my parents for giving me all the opportunities. Evelyn Faith Walters. Evelyn says, I would like to thank Mrs. Smith, Mr. Pulaski, and Mr. Kushner for their kindness and helping me grow into the person I am today. Benjamin Perry Walton. Benjamin says, I would like to thank my parents for always encouraging me to do the best that I could in school and stay on top of my academics, and my teachers for going above and beyond their jobs to help educate our generation. Ryan Blackwell Weinstein. Ryan says, thanks to my parents and all my friends for their support. Micaiah Sri Wemper. Micaiah says, thanks to my mom, my friends, and my teachers. Justin DeMaz Williams. Justin says, thanks to Ms. DeSilva, Mr. Coley, Mr. Ship, Ms. Smith, Coach Oliver, and Coach Poteet, who always stayed on top of me, even after I had their classes, and helped me make this happen. Dennis Carl Wilson. Dennis says, thanks to my parents, friends, and my teachers, especially Mr. Williams. Trevor McBride Yoash. Trevor says, I would like to thank my parents for pushing me to be the best I can be, my friends for always keeping me happy, and my teachers for being understanding and helpful.
And now, please join in a ruckus round of applause for our graduates. This time, would all of our graduates please stand? Class of 2021, on behalf of the state of North Carolina and the Wake County Board of Education, and upon completion of your credits, I declare you graduates of Middle Creek High School. You may now signify that you are official graduates of Middle Creek High School by following your class vice president, Sophia Gallo, and turning your tassel to the left. Parents and guests, as we conclude our celebration today, please wait for the recessional to be completed before you exit the gymnasium. Each section will be released one at a time, and you will be joining your graduate in the front of the school. Graduates, please make sure to take your personalized Mustang from the wall in the Commons. There is a Sharpie attached to each Mustang, and please feel free to stop as you are leaving and sign each other's as well as our Spirit Rock. Again, congratulations. Mr. Maldonado, the recessional, please.